Hola amigos, Stuart here with another Spanish learning video. And have you ever heard Spanish speakers using the words bueno, pues and ya and wondered what they actually mean and how you can use them? You'll hear these words used all the time here in Spain, and learning how to use them correctly will help you sound more natural when you speak Spanish. So let's break them down with real life examples. Vamos! Now let's start with the word bueno, and this is a great word for transitioning, agreeing, or wrapping up a conversation. Now imagine you're making plans to meet a friend here in Spain and they say to you, ¿A qué hora nos vemos esta noche? What time shall we meet tonight? And you reply, bueno, ¿qué tal a las ocho? Bueno, ¿qué tal a las ocho? And this means, well, what about 8 p.m? Or if you're planning a trip at the weekend, but the weather's not looking very good, and your friend says to you, no sé si deberíamos viajar este fin de semana, I don't know if we should travel this weekend, and you reply, bueno, podríamos esperar a ver el tiempo. Bueno, podríamos esperar a ver el tiempo. And this means, well, we could wait to check the weather. The word bueno can also be used to agree with something or somebody, albeit reluctantly. For example, you're with your partner and they want to go out for dinner, but you don't really want to, and they say, vamos a cenar fuera esta noche? And you reply, bueno, si insistes. And what you're saying here is, all right, if you insist. Another example, you're at the restaurant now and your partner says to you, ¿Te gustaría probar este plato? Would you like to try this dish? And you reply, bueno, ¿por qué no? And this means, all right, why not? The word bueno is also perfect for wrapping up conversations. Let's look at these examples. You're saying goodbye to a friend that you'll be seeing again tomorrow, and they say, nos vemos mañana, vale? I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And you reply, bueno, hasta mañana. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bueno, hasta mañana. Another example, you've been talking to somebody and they say, ha sido un placer hablar contigo. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. And you reply, bueno, igualmente, which means well, the same here, or well, likewise. And as I said, using bueno in this context is the perfect way to wrap up a conversation. Next up is the word pues, and this is the perfect filler word. It helps you pause, react, or emphasize agreement. Now sometimes you just need a moment to think about what you are going to say. For example, if somebody asks you what you would like for dinner, ¿Qué quieres para cenar? And you haven't made up your mind yet, you could say, pues no sé, ¿qué te apetece? And this means, well, I don't know. What would you like? Another example, you're thinking of moving to another neighborhood, but you're not quite sure yet, and your friend says, ¿Estás seguro de que quieres mudarte? Are you sure you want to move? And you reply, pues aún lo estoy pensando, which means, well, I'm still thinking about it. Pues aún lo estoy pensando. Now, if you really agree with somebody, the word pues adds a little emphasis. For example, you are having a coffee with a friend and the quality of the coffee is really good, and they say, este café está buenísimo. Este café está buenísimo. This coffee is really, really good. And you reply, pues sí, me encanta. And that means, well, yes, I love it. Another example, you are on your way out with a friend, you are going to walk, but it's raining, and your friend says, creo que deberíamos coger un taxi. I think we should take a taxi. And you reply, pues claro, hombre, está lloviendo. And that means, well, of course we should. It's raining. Now, another way to use the word pues is when you want to react casually to something. For example, your friend is tired, they don't really feel like going out, and they say, no sé si tengo ganas de salir hoy, which means I don't know if I want to go out tonight. And you reply, pues quédate en casa y descansa, which means, well, stay at home and rest. Pues quédate en casa y descansa. Another example, your friend is cooking a Spanish omelette for the first time, and they say, voy a intentar hacer una tortilla de patatas. But you're not confident that it's going to turn out okay. So you say, pues buena suerte con eso, which means, well, good luck with that. Pues buena suerte con eso. Now let's look at the word ya, which is a very, very commonly used word in Spanish. It means already, now, or even enough, depending on the situation. Now, when something has already happened, we use the word ya. For example, you're at work and your boss asks you if you have finished the report. They say, ¿Has terminado el informe? And you reply, sí, ya lo he terminado. Yes, I have already finished it. Sí, ya lo he terminado. Another example, you're planning on going to a concert with a friend and they suggest buying the tickets. They say, vamos a comprar las entradas. But you've already bought them, so you would reply, no hace falta, ya las tengo. No need, I've already got them. No hace falta, ya las tengo. Now, if you need someone to hurry up, ya is the perfect word. Your friend asks you what time you're heading out by saying, ¿Cuándo salimos? And you reply, ya mismo, which means right now. Ya mismo. Another example, you're on your way out, but you're running a bit late and your friend isn't even ready. You could say, venga, muévete, vamos a llegar tarde. Come on, let's get moving, we're gonna be late. And they could reply, ya voy, which means I'm on my way. Ya voy. Another way that we can use ya is to show that we have understood something. For example, somebody has been explaining to you how something works, but it's taken you a little while to understand exactly what they are saying. But finally, you get it. And in this situation, you would say, ya entiendo, which means, oh, now I get it. Ya entiendo. Ya is also great when you're feeling a little annoyed. For example, you're doing something bureaucratic and the person behind the counter wants you to revise the document before you sign it, but you've already revised the document 3 times. You could say, ya lo revisé 3 veces. Ya lo revisé 3 veces. And this will show the person your frustration at having to look at the document again. Another example, you're talking to your child and you want them to remember something that you have told them earlier. You would say, no olvides lo que te dije. Don't forget what I told you. And the typical reply from a child would be, mamá, ya lo sé, or papá, ya lo sé, which means, mum, I already know. Now, let's mix these words together for even more natural sounding Spanish. Now, let's imagine you're with a friend and you don't know whether you want to go out or stay at home. They could ask you, ¿Vamos al cine o nos quedamos en casa? Shall we go to the cinema or stay at home? And you reply, bueno, pues depende de la película, which means, well, it depends on the movie. Bueno, pues depende de la película. Another example, you're planning a trip overseas, but you haven't bought the plane tickets yet, and your friend suggests that you start looking at flights. They would say, deberíamos empezar a buscar vuelos. We should start looking at flights. And you reply, pues ya podemos hacerlo ahora mismo, which means, well, we can do it right now. Pues ya podemos hacerlo ahora mismo. And the final example that we'll look at is using the words bueno and ya in the same sentence. For example, you are at a football game with your friend and your friend is confident that your team is going to win. They say, creo que vamos a ganar esta noche. I think we're going to win tonight. But you're not so confident, so you say, bueno, ya veremos si ganan o no, which means, all right, we'll see if they win or not. Bueno, ya veremos si ganan o no. And that is how you use bueno, pues, and ya like a true Spanish speaker. Try them out in your next conversations in Spanish. Let me know how you get on and tell me which word you like using the most. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Let me know some other useful Spanish words that you like using. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it and hit that subscribe button for more Spanish language tips. I'll see you in the next video. Hasta luego from Spain.